Okay, so this game is on Sonic the Hedgehog for the Master System. Yeah, I was basically getting some screenshots for an article that I'm doing, so I kind of had the video footage already on the computer, so I thought, why not? I really love this game. I prefer it over the Mega Drive version, and I don't care what people think about that. I just prefer the Master System version. I've always thought that it's better, but that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, some people are just going to think I'm mad because the Mega Drive one is, you know, it's got the graphics, it's got the speed, you know, all the things that you'd associate with the typical Sonic game, I guess. But yeah, I just prefer the Master System version. I played Sonic 1 on the Mega Drive loads, absolutely loads, quite familiar with it, and but I didn't own it. Yeah, I owned the Master System version, and I've completed it so many damn times. I just kept going back for more. I'm just absolutely totally familiar with it, even though when I played it the last week or the week before, I can't remember when it was, I hadn't played it properly in just since I was a kid basically, but I still could remember everything about it. Where all the crystals was, where all the enemies was, and some of the different routes in the stages. It really is a great game. The game is more focused on precise platforming rather than, you know, just whizzing through a level. I mean, you don't have to whiz through a level in the Mega Drive version, but I mean, you can be very precise in the Mega Drive version, but obviously the Master System version, it doesn't have the speed, it doesn't have the graphics, and it certainly doesn't have all the enemies and rings and all the complexity that goes with that game. Basically, it's a much simpler game, and just because it's a simpler game doesn't mean that it's any less of a decent Sonic game. Basically, it's a Sonic game, but it relies on precise platforming, and you really need to know the levels. It really does use some kind of sneaky little aspects that if you really don't know the game, you'd get caught out on, like enemies just suddenly appearing out of nowhere, and you know, it's really funny because sometimes it's like the game almost knows where you're going to go, and because it's like the levels are made in such a way that they know Sonic is going to jump in a certain place, or you're going to jump in a certain place, so they catch you out, or try and catch you out in a lot of different ways. I also prefer having the crystals hid in certain parts of the levels. I much prefer that. I prefer that over trying to get the crystals from the special stages. I just think it's really cool that they can hide the crystal in some sneaky little part of the level, and you've got to discover that crystal or where it's hidden. I can still remember where all the crystals are, which is really cool. Still remember where they've hid all the extra lives. Some of them I just don't know how I figured out they're there. I never ever got any help with the game or asked them, because back in those days you didn't have the internet. All you had was, there was the odd cheats manual that was floating about, but basically to get information about the game, it was mainly you'd get information by word of mouth from friends, and if they didn't know, then you really had to figure it out for yourself. There was no internet or anything like that. Oh yeah, there was games. Was it Games Master? You know, the odd TV show, but chances are your game wouldn't come up on that anyway. So you really had to figure the secrets and things out for yourself, basically. So finding the crystals and all the hidden lives on the Sonic game was just by me and my sister just figuring out for ourselves and just working through the game. She probably found things out that I didn't know, and just by watching her play the game and try to annoy her and make her lose a life so I could take control of the Master System was how I learned some of the tricks on there. I'm sure it was the same for her as well. It's just a great game. It really does. It's all about the focus on the gameplay really, and it really is a great game. And just because it ain't got the graphics or the speed or all those loads of enemies and crap loads of rings and stuff doesn't make it a bad game. It's actually a great game unto itself, So if you ever get the chance to check out the Master System game, it really is one of the best platformers I've ever played. And the fact that I prefer it over the Mega Drive version is I would say quite something actually, because the Mega Drive game really is just amazing. So the fact that I kind of like the Master System version is just it's just got that something in it that that's quite special for the system, and it's one of the best games on the system, to be honest with you. So if you ever get a chance to check out the Master System version, I really recommend it.